We put the subtitles on anyway for me, usually with the Irish accent.
Although I slowed down a lot.
Same.
Since I came over here, like
I had to make myself more understandable.
Yeah, well, Cork and Limerick is similar. Like, we're just a bit lower. You go up at the end. We're a bit more monotone. The Cork fellas go up at the end like that.
Yeah, like that.
But you don't really sound full Corky anymore.
No, so I've been living out of home since I was about 17. Right. So like I went to Belgium. I was there for 4 years. And when I was there, I really had to like level off the accent a bit because people wouldn't understand me. So yeah, I was over there. I was cycling over there full time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good man.
So I was doing a bit of cycling there. And then, back to Ireland for a year and then said, fuck this, off to Australia.
Oh, my gosh.
And here we are. What was it now? 9 years later. Yeah. Yeah, wild. But yeah, one thing of what you were speaking about there is like, what we say to like people that come into our world now is like, you can't skip that hard work piece. Like getting good at the thing first really matters. Like no matter what it is, whatever people apply themselves to in life, it's like, you can't skip out and getting good at something like.
No, and I think that is where, and I don't want to be this old cunt giving out about fucking the new barbers, right? Because I've got a young friend, you see him today when you go over to the shop, right? He's 22, fucking amazing. I mean amazing. He's honest to God, I don't mind saying he's the best young haircutter I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what I mean? But he did it right from the very fucking start, from young. He did an apprenticeship with Tony and Guy. Went through his apprenticeship, realised he didn't really like cutting women's hair, moved over to men, focused more on the men's stuff, and then came to me just after lockdown. And I don't mind saying, like, he's fucking class. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not that old guy giving out about the young guys. I'm giving out about the young guys who don't do it right. Do you know what I mean? And, like, I look at some of the stuff he does and I go, fuck me. Like, his taste level is off the fucking charts, right? And his skill level to match his taste level is just, I've never seen anything like it. And like that's where I am now these days, whereas, I no longer want to be the best in the room. Do you know what I mean? We're doing a show in June and I don't think I'm even going to cut hair at the show. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to let all the lads do it. I'm going to talk about how fucking great they are and how, that's the whole point of getting to the stage of the brand, without sounding like a wanker, that, I shouldn't be the one front and centre doing the hair. Yeah, I have to be, I have to kind of go out and kind of bring the brand out there, and I have to kind of get eyes on it. But I don't know, I don't have to be the best one anymore. Do you know what I mean? I don't, and I don't want to be.
You've done the yards with that.
Yeah, but I don't want to be. Do you know what I mean? I want to show people that, what, if you fucking do it right, you will be as good as my lads. I have a team going on that show, and honestly, they're fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And they're really good. So, some of the stuff they're going to do are going to be better than the stuff I could do anyway.
There's a lot to be said for that though as well. Like, I guess you can, as the leader of a team, it's like looking at how well can we spread the knowledge between everybody, rather than just having one unicorn and everyone else being donkeys.
I think that happens a lot. And there's a certain amount of ego attached to a lot of people when they go on stage that they do want to be the best. I've never wanted to be the best on a stage. Do you know what I mean? Because I've always wanted to do well, but I've always wanted to have somebody better than me. Kind of like, so that partly because so everybody wouldn't be looking at me. Do you know what I mean? Because it's quite daunting, especially coming from, like, I'm a spit and sawdust barber, right? And coming from the fucking £5 barbershop in the 90s to who's next to fucking fellowship stage of Saddle International. It's, I had to learn how to speak again. I had to learn how to cut hair properly, as in, like, uniformly and kind of, stage way of cutting hair, rather than just removing the hair quickly and efficiently and making it look good. Do you know what I mean? And that I found was the hardest thing to do. Do you know what I mean? To
transfer that knowledge.
Transfer the knowledge, because teaching and showing are two completely different animals. You know what I mean? I know great haircutters that can't teach. I know great teachers that can't cut hair. Do you know what I mean? And not that they can't cut hair, they're not very good at it, but they're excellent at explaining it. And other guys who are really good at cutting hair, even technically really good at cutting hair, but they can't explain what they know why they're doing it. It's not like they're not guessing, but they can't.
The articulation, the communication.
And I think that is the problem. But also I think that, not to be talking about problems all the time, because we shouldn't really be positive about it, but I think there's too much focus on what someone else is doing. Do you know what I mean? If I hear it again, oh, Josh and Monica's doing this, and oh God, you see that, he shouldn't be doing that shit. He's fucking doing. You don't have to like what he's doing. You have to take a fucking hat off to what he's doing. And whatever, like, you know, whether you like it or not, you're doing it right.
Yeah, well, it's happening. Whether we like it or not.
Look, I get people sending me stuff all the time. You always get people sending you stuff. And you go, what do you think of that, Johnny? And like,
looking for a bit of...
Yeah, I thought it's fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Because he is, I know Josh very, very well, and he's a class guy, and he's brilliant, and built a brilliant brand. Also, I know the lads from Scoreham and Island Beak, fucking, everybody knows everybody. You know, and if everybody just did what they do and everyone left everyone else alone, I think collectively the industry would be way stronger, way fucking stronger. You wouldn't have, like, everyone giving out about everything. I give out and I joke about things in general, but I don't. I've never focused on one person saying he's this or she's that or whatever. That's bollocks.
Yeah. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's a lot of confusion in barbering when it comes to like who we're looking at in the industry, like what you just said. But meanwhile, like the people that really we should be talking to are the clients who are just left on the side.
100%.
They're just left on the side. Yeah. And they're the ones bringing in most of the money for us and like helping us.
That's the side of barbering I've never understood. No one does anything for the client. And I say this to my lads all the time, lads, doesn't matter. And I did a thing on, oh God, there's a couple of reels I did on one on TikTok and Instagram and all that. I did like 10 signs to show you're in the wrong barbershop, right? And I said a few things, right? And my God, the fucking attacks. This was a joke, right? I was doing a fucking joke and oh my God, I'm talking vicious.
From other barbers?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, well.
Like one thing, I take the piss out of ring lights all the time, right? Just because I personally don't like them, right? And I said, if you see a ring light, chances are he's not as good as he thinks he is. That's all I said. Right? That's all
Brilliant.
I said, right? Well, this one guy in particular, right, he went fucking bananas.
Ring light in the profile picture.
Oh, but like he went bananas. Like bananas, started calling me this, and then he kind of, people who commented funny stuff on it, or people who agreed with me, he went back, I can't believe you agree with this guy. This guy's a wanker. I never talk about anybody, but this guy's a wanker. I'm thinking, but do I actually bother you that much? Literally, like, and that's the trigger, right? And I've also said, like, you know, if there's a Z where there should be an S, and if there's a K where there should be a C, run. You know what I mean? And stuff like, oh, say what you really mean, you're racist. And I kind of go, what? Where are you getting this one from? And it was a joke, right? And the funny thing, right? It went viral, got fucking 1.5 million views, right? And it was fucking hilarious, right? And most people saw the funny side of it, but my God, there's some fucking triggered guys there. And you know, that I did another one about, what was it? Things you should never say in a barbershop. You know, a couple of things like, I can't even remember off the top of my head now, but again, trigger, people going fucking apeshit. You know, complete randomers jumping on.
It's mad, isn't it? Lee's getting a bit of that at the moment.
Yeah, I've been putting up stuff, especially related to like consultation. Everyone's got their opinion on consultation, and I'm just pushing the bar a little bit. I've never really seen it done any differently, so I'm like, all right, let's push the bar. Let's bring in some new concepts. People as like you, they're saying you should probably just quit, mate. You should probably just stop what you're doing. Like, don't educate people. You don't know what you're talking about. Like,
you know what?
It's amazing.
But there's something within them.
Yeah. And what was the thing that I said on one of our calls the other day, I said, what worries me is we've got grown men looking at other men's stuff going, oh, we'll start spending their time leaving shit on your post. It's like, that to me, forget the hate, that reveals a collective fucking wound of what's going on right now.
But from a private profile, no doubt.
Yeah, oh, they always got no followers.
They are. Like,
yeah. And that's the funny thing. It's like, there's a guy from Limerick at the moment, actually, Pal Dwyer, right? Pal Dwyer, he's a strong man, right? And he's like the troll hunter, right? So what he does, he finds these people, right? People doing stuff on Instagram, right? Say, like, people in the gym, you know, some people like super strong, some people just beginners, some people intermediate, right? And they're doing stuff, but he goes through the comments and he finds the person who's saying a negative comment and he goes into their profile. Oh, he's so fucking funny, man. But he's brilliant. And he the whole thing is, don't be a cunt, right? That's his thing, you know, and he calls him out and he goes, you're a cunt. But like he's after blowing up. And the beauty about someone like him is, he's a monster of a man. Like, he's fucking gigantic. So no country's actually going to say anything back to him. Do you know what I mean? Now, doesn't matter if you're big or small or in between. At the end of the day, it's online. And I think Mike Tyson was at social media has made up people way too comfortable talking shit without getting punched in the face. And that's it. Like, I've talked a lot of shit in my life, right? But it was been general. I've never actually spoken about anybody online or anywhere. I keep myself to myself, and the shit I talk is a collective thing. The only people I ever actually actively named in talking shit is the London School of Barbering, and I will stand it and I will hang my hat in it and I will take it to my fucking grave. They're fucking shit. They'll always be shit. They were always shit, and they have really contributed to the shit that barbering has become. And I say it again, London School of Barbering, London School of Barbering, London School of Barbering, give a fuck. You know what I mean? It is a fucking shit box. It should have been closed down long ago, right? And you'll always have people defend, oh, well, I went there. Yeah, well, good for you. Doesn't stop the fact that they were shit. Maybe you're not shit. Maybe you took something from it. And if they went out and said, right, this 12-week course will shave 6 months off your apprenticeship, then I would have supported it. But telling people in 12 weeks they're going to be a fucking shop-ready barber, whatever the fucking shop-ready barber is, and people actually buying into it, which I don't blame people, because people are fucking stupid, right? But you can't blame the customer and the client. But when you have somebody coming out of LSB and they come into a shop like mine or yours or whatever, and they say, I'm a barber. You're not a barber, number one, right? And it's not your fault you're not a barber. But where in the world can you learn to do anything in 12 weeks to a level that can command a fucking...
This is what I said on another podcast. There's a difference between knowing some stuff to tick the boxes and being market ready, like market demand.
But even is that... But the taste, even the soft, you can't develop soft skills in 12 weeks.
No, nothing. You get the bare bones, bare minimum.
Yeah, but it's
an introduction. Like you were saying, if it was an introduction...
to see if you liked it.
It's a launch pad.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the start. Like, see if you like this.
Do 12 weeks. If you like it after 12 weeks, it's still going to take you at least 6 to 12. I'm going to say, like, I don't think I use my academy, and I'm actually starting to back up again next year, but my course was 12, it was 12 months. It was 6 months in the academy, 4 days a week, right? And then the Friday, they were in the shop, right? Just fucking observing and helping out. And then when they finished the course, it was 6 months in the barbershop, and then they were qualified. And even at that, like, there's still lots they can learn.
Absolutely.
So, but like, where's the 12-week hairdressing course? There isn't one.
I did the proper apprenticeship back a day. I started in 2005, trained in Plymouth, did the full 4-year apprenticeship, and even then it was still my first year out. My 5th year was called my first year out still. So I was still classed as a kind of trainee or my first year out. So I'd done 4 years apprenticeship. Even then, my haircuts were still being eyed as they walked out the door, making sure they were all right.
You haven't got that. You haven't developed that taste level, that commercial taste level. Do you know what I mean? It's one thing, doing something that looks good when it's styled out to death, and when you got perfect hair. But when you have a guy who got problematic hair, somebody who just wants to fucking wash and go, that's when a real haircut will show its strength.
And another one, like we were speaking about all this stuff being done on mannequin heads. Like, it's great, it serves its purpose. We do a lot of work on mannequin heads, but I went back and cut my mum's hair a couple of weeks ago, and it threw me right back to when I was like 16. I was like, we were cut in the kitchen, same light, the same place, and it threw me right back to when I was 16. I was like, whoa, yeah, this is really interesting. And I was reminding myself about how much easier I find it and how much better I can do it. But then I thought, all this mannequin work, these perfectly straight lines, and everything is just perfect before you even start. My mum's hairline's dropping down this way, and it's a bit heavier there and a bit heavier there. You've got to adjust. You don't get that experience just working on a mannequin.
Mannequin heads are great for a purpose. They
serve a brilliant purpose.
I think mannequin heads are great for fucking up. That's what I think, because you know what? You can fuck up a mannequin head and throw it into the cupboard.
It's muscle memory stuff, really, isn't it? It's like getting used to what's happening for the real thing. It's like playing a game versus training in football or something. It's like you're just training. It's not the real thing.
No, it's not. But
everyone can be the best in training, but what happens when it comes to game day?
But that's it. And I think, but that's the other side of it. Everybody wants to do it for other people's opinion. And like, I can't believe that I'm sitting here talking about it.
Mm.
You know, I can't believe that I'm sitting here talking about what other people do and what other people expect. Shouldn't be that. Plumbers aren't doing it, chefs aren't fucking doing it, electricians aren't doing it. So why are we doing it? At the end of the day, you know, it is a job, and it's a great job and they love it, right? But this thing that everybody is attaching themselves to a cause, or everybody is attaching themselves to, you know, you see all these reels about fucking discipline and what. It's a fucking job, lads. Just do your job. Be good at it and enjoy it, and see where it takes you. You know, don't try to squeeze every fucking drop out of it that, you know, for your own purpose, as in like, how do I say this without sounding like a fucking absolute lunatic, right? It's not that deep.
Just making it something that it's not.
It's not that fucking deep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is not that fucking deep.
And like, the more we progress ourselves now, Leigh and I, is like, the more we're looking for simple ways to just, it's like, we need to actually go backwards.
I think so. Go back to, like, if you think back, right, when you see, like, hairdressing, I think in the 90s is a great way of looking at it, right, or barbering in the 90s. Everything was cut in the comb in men's hair. Everything was cut in the comb. There was some like amazing haircuts. Some of the most iconic haircuts in the world have been cut on the comb when it comes to men, you know, or they've been free-handed to fuck. So what's that tell you? It tells you that it's the person wearing the haircut that makes the haircut great and iconic, right? It's not the actual. I think barbers, hairdressers, we all have. I think there's a hell of a lot of main character syndrome. Do you know what I mean? There's a hell of a lot of main character syndrome. We're not that fucking important, right? We're not, right? I've done a million fucking fashion shows. I've done a million fashion weeks, right? Whereas, yes, we're there as a part of a team. But you think about it, it's not that fucking deep. I've done a fucking runway of 60 models with a comb and wet look gel. Nothing else for one of the biggest designers in England, right? And literally a comb and wet look gel. That was it. That was my job. I got paid handsomely for it, but it wasn't that fucking hard.
Yeah. And I think we don't have to make it that hard.
You don't
either.
have to make it that hard. You know, and I think that is the thing. It's, you know, the main character syndrome has to stop. It's not that fucking hard. Okay? I think it's hard to learn it. It's hard to be an all-rounder and to be able to do all types of haircuts. That's hard to learn. But once you've learned it, then it's just about doing it and just keep doing it. And natural progression will make you better. You know what I mean? There's no shortcuts and there's no tricks. You know what I mean? The tricks are like, you know, the what's advanced? Advanced is somebody who has fucking done the basics so many fucking times. You know, and that's when the advanced is someone who does basics better than the beginner. That's when the advanced is. You know, there's no tricks to it.
Absolutely.
It's interesting looking at like where the industry's at in terms of like the season where it's in. Like, I think we've got a lot of young guys in the industry now, and I think that reflects on the mindset of the industry, right? Like, I noticed it in my own career. So I started in 05, so I'll be coming up 20 years in a couple of years, and I was the same. I'd get so locked in the precision for so long. That was like the first 10 years of my career was the perfectionism of the precision, right? Learned off a couple of guys in the British hairdressing team, this kind of stuff. We learned everything by the book, by the line, blah, blah, blah. But then the next 10, or the years that have come now, is almost using that to undo everything I thought about hair and bring it back to, like you said, a taste level and the person wearing it. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, you know.
It does. What is perfect? Perfect is something,
yeah.
You know, perfect is technically perfect can actually be fucking ugly.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And, you know, and technically imperfect can be fucking class, right? But I've developed my taste level over the years, and I've kind of explored different avenues of where I wanted to be, right? And I keep coming back to softness. I love softness, right? I like everything soft, nothing too heavy, nothing too tight, nothing too sharp. And that's my taste level, right? You don't have to like it, right? Some of the people I admire are real fucking hardcore precision hair cutters. I don't have to like them, but I admire them. I don't like what they, not that I don't like, when I say I don't like what they do, that's the wrong way of saying it, because I do like what they do, otherwise I wouldn't fucking be looking at them, right? But It's not my taste.
Not for you, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What broke me out of it was photographic work, editorial work. I have this, I shoot some stuff myself, and every client I say, the aim here today is make shit hair look good. I was like, and my approach now is like, let's just make it look shit first. Shoot it, and it's usually the best shots.
Yeah, well,
it's usually the best shots.
Like, put it back, and that's it. But like that, again, that's not my world. Do you know what I mean? I've got lads working for me who love all the photographic side of things. I'd be bored out of my fucking mind. I still, to this day, fucking 30 years in, I like to be behind a chair. That's where I'm happiest, that's where I'm more comfortable. I'm not that I'm not comfortable doing the show work. I enjoy it now and again, and, you know, it's good for fucking brand building. But I like to be in a shop. Who's next? You know, I wish I could still say that, but we don't, because it's all fucking appointments now. You know what I mean? But it's like, I think that's where my true calling is, if you will. Like, I'm a fucking shop barber, and I'll be a shop barber till the fucking die. I like it. I don't like being in the shop. I don't like being in the shop when it's quiet, when it's, you know, in, one out. I'd rather fucking poke myself in the eye. But put me in there fucking balls deep, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? Especially in the Liverpool shop. You know, when it's crazy fucking busy, and the manic, when it's manic. You know, I like the manic. Do you know what I mean? I don't like this new way the world is going. Nobody wants to find any stress. Nobody wants to be under pressure. I prefer the pressure. You know, I prefer the madness. I prefer the loudness of the shop. You know, I see all these fucking things now. So you can book a silent haircut. Come on, fuck off. Your fucking silent haircut.
It's mad, isn't it?
Shit like that is fucking, you know, it's kind of trying to, you know, there's just
catering
so
for too much. That's catering for too much. Like,
it's bollocks. It's fucking bollocks, right? And there was a kid actually in the shop yesterday, right? Fucking one of our customers' kid is autistic. Hates lights. Fucking hates lights. So what do? We'll bring him downstairs and we'll cut his hair in the dark. No big fucking deal about it. We don't post about it. We don't fucking, oh, look at us, we cater for autistic children. I've been cutting autistic kids' hair on my fucking life. When I was an apprentice, there was a place in Limerick, Bournemore. It was where all the Down syndrome kids used to live, right? And their parents would send them there for respite, right? And when I was an apprentice, we used to go up there on a Monday night every 4, 5, 6 weeks, and we cut their hair. No fucking big deal about it. Do you know what I mean? This new thing of like, everybody, look at us, we cut hair for autistic kids, we cut hair for fucking kids with disabilities. I had a funny one. There was a guy in yesterday with cerebral palsy, right? And went to move the chair for him. And he goes, no, it's okay. And he goes, I can get out of the chair. He goes, I only pretend, I'm not really disabled. I only do it for the blue badge, he says. And he got out of his wheelchair and he walked over to the chair. You know what I mean? And like, I was embarrassed that I tried to move the chair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, he was fine about it. But like, we thought like, okay, we better move the chair. And this guy said, no, I can get out of my wheelchair and walk. Do you know what I mean? So people aren't as fucking disabled as people want them to be either. You know what I mean? When it serves their purpose of, look at us, look what we can do. At the end of the day, right? We're barbers. Same way as he's a chef or he's a fucking, you know, barista or whatever the case may be. We have a job to do and we need to do the job well and we need to cater for our customers. That's where it should end. You know what I mean? This fucking, you know, fight to be the loudest, and fight to be the brightest, and fight to be the best. No one cares. You know what I mean? Look after what's inside your walls and look after what's inside your door. What happens outside your door, let it fucking happen. You know what I mean? You can't control it, you can't change it, and you can't stop it.
The simplification piece is interesting because, and I heard you saying something on the chat that you had with Simon about the restoration of like natural order. And I think like the world is in a bit of need with that now at the moment. It's gone a bit fucking nuts, hasn't it? Like with all of that stuff, like it's like, I had that revelation myself years ago as well in Australia. You know, we went and we did hair for homeless people, we did this and that, and I always like refrained from posting it because it's like I had to question myself in them moments. Like,
but why do you do it?
Exactly.
Like, you know, exactly. You do it because it's the right thing to do,
and they're just other humans as well. Like, it doesn't matter if they have whatever they have.
But just see, like, fucking sitting the camera in someone's face while you're doing it, or like, it sits really bad with me, man. You know what I mean? We've got, I don't even like talking about this. I don't even like talking about this in camera, right? The amount of the fucking homeless guys that come in around our shop. Fucking hell. Like, the two deals I have with them, right? Be fucking sober and be clean. I'll cut your hair. Don't come in here fucking drunk, don't come in here dirty. Right? I fucking bought him clothes, I fucking bought him food. I will never give him alcohol. Never ever give him alcohol. I gave one guy a fucking job, right? So we used to shine the shoes, right? And this guy came in, I said, look, do you want a job? Yeah. I said, look, we'll show you how to shine the shoes, right? So we showed him how to shine the shoes. He came in a couple of days and we helped him out with it. All on the fucking polish, right? My own fucking fault. I gave him 150 quid to get himself a pair of shoes, a pants and a fucking shirt, and never saw the cunt again, right? And he shut up about 6-7 months later and he walked in. I said, who are you cunt? I said, where the fuck were you? Oh, I got arrested. My body actually got arrested. I said, get the fuck out. Threw him out there in it. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you took the fucking piss out of me. I said, for years we've been looking after you. We've been cutting your fucking hair, gave you fucking money, gave you food, all that, and gave you a fucking job. This is how you repay me. I said, go fuck yourself. I mean, so I can be as hard as well, do you know what I mean? But like, that's the thing that really fucking bothers me is this thing of people, the haircuts for the homeless one thing, this fucking suicide thing, men's mental health. Men have struggled with mental health for years, right? But this thing of attaching everything to a fucking barbershop is really fucking starting to annoy the shit out of me, right? Because I know they don't really care about it, right? I've had friends committed suicide. I've had friends died of cancer. But like, you don't see me fucking, oh, I'm going to do haircuts for cancer, haircuts for suicide. Just fucking accept this what goes on. And, you know, as a human, do all you can about it. You don't have to put on your social media about fucking, you know, let's cut a homeless person's hair. It's not our responsibility to do it. Do it. By all means, do it. And like, we should be doing it and we should do our best. You know, if we have a little more, we should give it a little more. But you don't have to talk about it all the time. You just don't. And it's getting...
It's like, just be a good human, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
Just be a good human.
It's quite disgusting, like, you know. And especially, you know, everybody has the cause. There's causes now. And, you know, the one thing I would say is if you are going to do shit like this, right, be sure that you are fucking excellent. As in, like, that the work you're producing is fucking grade A plus, right? Don't try to be an influencer or a fucking warrior for a cause using your barbering as a platform and you're an average at best barber. And there's a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like, go work on your own shit first before you try trying to fix the world. Do you know what I mean? And
because we had that conversation years ago, didn't we? There was a conversation around the shop that we were in about, should we start bringing that into the shop? And my missus at the time was a psychologist. So I took this idea home to her and I said, what do you think about this? And she just went, no. She went, be very, very careful. She was like, because you don't know what happens the day someone does turn around. You say to them, you all right, mate? And they go, no, actually, no. I'm thinking about ending it all today. You got the tools to deal with that? You, the barber, you're going to deal with that? You open Pandora's box.
Yeah. And that's...
What fucking good is that?
And that's the thing.
that's not good.
We all barbers, like, you know, we encourage people. We don't encourage people to talk about. We talk about fucking football, about the fucking, about current events, about, you know, normal stuff. Like this, when's the last time a fucking client told you anything personal? As in really personal. Not personal as in like I got hot shag of my wife's sister, right? That's personal, you know, and I've had that, by the way, right? But that's about, you know, nobody has like I've had, like, one of my best friends topped himself fucking 17 years ago. He spent the whole day with me the day he did it. The whole fucking day. I didn't spot a fucking thing. Right? Looking back on it, when he was leaving the shop, I only opened my shop in Limerick at the time. When he was leaving my shop that day, he gave me a hug. He said, I'll see you later, right? He never said that. I'll see you later, right? I said, okay, yeah. I thought nothing of it. Right? But he gave me a hug when he said it. It's fine, okay. And it was New Year's Eve. And I met him that evening again. And I says, we're going down to the Shannon Boat Club tonight for a few pints. I'm going out. He goes, no, I'll go somewhere else. So, okay, fine. Great. That was it. And one of the lads knocked on the door the next morning. He was found hanging in his fucking shed. Right? But I didn't see that coming. Right? And he was one of my best friends. I spent my whole fucking life with him. And I didn't see a fucking thing. You know what I mean? So, how the fuck can you turn around and say we're helping fucking customers by, you know, talking that shit? It's nonsense. and that's the type of the stuff that really kind of really.
It's not done with integrity. It's done to market the brand and try to get customers in the door. It's not done to really help people, in my opinion. It's just done to it's done to make money, like really. And it's using people's like insecurities and flaws and trying to prop themselves up.
But it's also, I think it's another way of getting away with doing it right, I think.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Avoiding
the work.
Better.
Avoiding the work. It's another hustle. It's another, you know what I mean? It's another easy route. Do you know what I mean? If we all collectively, I think, as an industry, say, right, this is what we're going to charge. Okay? Everyone had to charge, not everyone had to charge the same, but, you know, in or around same type of money, right? Everybody had the same expectations from their staff. Everyone had the same expectations from their employers, right? That there had to be a certain level of integrity within how we employ people. You know what I mean? Their fucking benefit. You know, we could all pay a hell of a lot more if we were all getting a fair shot at the title, right? If we're all getting a fair slice of the fucking pie. But what's happening is some people are running clean as whistle businesses because they want to fucking, you know, expand them and do well with them. Other people are being schneid and they're fucking running out the back door, right? So the fellas running out the back door can afford to put an extra couple of pound notes into a fella's back pocket, right? Then the expectation would be, well, my friend works for this fella and he's getting X, Y, Z. Why you want to give me fucking ABC? And you're like, well, ABC, because I'm paying D, F and EFG. You know what I mean? But he's paying fucking nothing. Right, so that's why he can give you a lot of pound notes. But if you want pound notes, I'm not the place for you.
And it doesn't work out long term either, right? Like, there's not enough long term.
They're getting away with it, though. That's the thing. They're getting away with it.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I'd love to say that, oh, it's all going to finish. I've been having this conversation with people for 20 years. Do you know what I mean? I remember, like, one of my old employers, he got so sick of it, right? He sent the word around the town in Limerick, right? He said, the next fucker who tries to take any of my fucking staff will be getting a knock on the door from the revenue. Because I've had enough of it. They stopped. No one took fucking staff off him again.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I love what you were saying earlier as well about like one of your team members, and he puts the work in, he's a great employee, and he's got a couple of houses. And like Leigh's got a house that he bought as an employee as well. You know, the problem with like the cash in the back pocket thing is that like it doesn't help later down the line when you want to have a family, you want to start get a house. Like there's nothing to show for it.
We don't have employees anymore. All our lads are self-employed now.
Okay,
yeah, yeah. So the guys who really understand, like, there's some people that want to be self-employed, as in like do what they want, come in late, go home early. That's their idea of self-employed. Other people's mentality of self-employed is, well, do you know what? This is a good shop. This guy has a good brand. They spend quite a bit of money on advertising. The shops look fucking great. We use the best products. We have apprentices to fucking help us out. We charge decent money. I get a good percentage of that decent price. Here I can now make a fucking fortune. That's the proper mentality. Then you got the other lads. Fuck, I'm self-employed. I'm going home. Self-employed, going in late. Self-employed, I'm taking tomorrow off. Self-employed, this is shit. So you got, there's two different types of guys who are self-employed, right? I'm lucky that most of my lads are the first example. But we've had other fellas, you know, the fella coming in late, it's fucking self-employed, do what I want. And then, are you really self-employed? Okay, yeah, you are, but okay, well, do your own towels then, because he's my fucking apprentice. Do you know what I mean? Buy your own products, because they're my products. So if you want to play that fucking game, you know what I mean?
Where's the fair play?
The fair play is, and the thing is, I don't expect blood from anyone, right? All I expect from anybody who comes into my shops is, this is what time we open, this is what time we close. Be there in those hours. That's as much as time off, no problem, just let us know. You don't have to ask for time off, you have to let me know what time off you would like. There's a big fucking difference, right? And if the shop can accommodate it, you can have it, right? So the way I look at it is, for example, Monday, I need 3 barbers. Tuesday I need 3, Wednesday I need 4, Thursday I need 5, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday I need 6, Sunday I need 2 or 3. No. That's what the managers get. There's your list, that's what I need. Don't give a fuck who's working it, but that's what I need. So put it to the team, this is what I need. And it generally happens. So it's not a case of, we're not saying, well, you better work 5 days. It's not about that. If you only want to work 2, that's fine. Just make sure the shop is running. Because remember, lads, if the shop isn't making money, eventually none of us make money. You know, that's the way we kind of went at the self-employed model, and it's working. It is working. But we would, like, before COVID, it was all salaried, but we're fucking 30% down now, and expenses are going up 20%. So we have a shortfall of about between 40 and 50% of pre-COVID. You know, so that has to come from somewhere, which means, you know, sharing the burden a little bit. On the quiet times, they don't earn as much, but we can still pay our rent, and on the busy times, to make a fortune.
Yeah. It's interesting in inserting that self-employed model into like a team environment. You know, it's really difficult. I think one of the only ways around it is to make the terms really clear. Like you said, when they come in, okay, yeah, you can be self-employed in this team environment. These are the terms. And they get to choose then. Yeah. Then there's no like confusion of like, oh, I'm off, see you later, you know.
Yeah. But there's nothing to say like on a quiet day, they go to their fucking line manager and say, Jesus, quiet, can I head off? Yeah, of course you can. Like, we're not going to make people sit there fucking scratching the bollocks. But, you know, I would say if there's only 2 in the shop, don't go home. Don't be a cunt. But if there's 4 there, yeah, of course you can.
But even in that, though, there's still always something to do. There's always something to do in that time, right?
But there is, but I can't make them do it.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? That's the other side of it. I can't make it. And the thing is, we have apprentices in the shop, so they don't have to be fucking scrubbing or cleaning or anything like that. You know, we do expect everyone to look after their own section. But the heavy shit, you know, the towels, the general day-to-day stuff, they don't have to do that. Exactly, you know.
We always say, like, if everyone just looked after their own corner,
but shut up.
We'd be in a much different position.
You'd be saying that to the blue in the face.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? You'd be saying that to the blue in the fucking face, you know. You get guys who do it, you get guys who don't do it. And I think that's a personal thing. The same fellow would have a filthy house, I guarantee that, and his car would be filthy as well.
Yeah. It's an interesting position we're in with the landscape of like barbering, isn't it, where it's moving. You know, us coming back from Australia and seeing what's going on here in the UK, it's just mad, isn't it? Like, the thing, and the same stuff happens over there, don't get me wrong, but I think, you know, the undercutting culture is like what's actually killing us and keeping us lower, say, on a professional level than hairdressing would be. And the standards of like what's expected, there is no like standard.
No.
And a lot of it's down to like the bigger companies that are producing the barbers as well. You know, like we see it in Australia all the time. It's like, it's disguised as a great thing that they're doing, but it's only making them money. It's kind of destroying, it's filtering out the entire industry.
Well, of course it is. And the thing is, like, you know, it's making things, I suppose, sour, really, because what's happening now is people are developing, like experienced people like us are developing almost a hatred for the industry, because I hate the industry. Love barbering, love the job, fucking hate the industry, hate what it's become, because it's become a cesspool of negativity. And like, ironically, and it's funny because I am talking negative, you know what I mean, but the negativity, it is surrounding us and it's kind of enveloping us, you know. That it's kind of hard not to be negative about it when it's, you know, you see just 50 different fucking publications. There's more barber magazines now than there's hair magazines. Do you know what I mean? There's more fucking clipper companies than there is fucking product companies. Do you know what I mean? How? Why? What's the purpose? The purpose is not to better the industry. It's to make money. And I get it, everybody has to make money. We're all here to make money. But, you know, ambassador roles for companies are now done by fucking 19-year-olds with a big Instagram following. Do you know what I mean? When you look at the other side of it, you look at like all the big ambassador roles for like the lady side of things, it's accomplished professionals, which is the way it should be. So, and don't get me wrong, it's great to give the young fellas a leg up and the young people a fucking a kind of platform to better themselves, but like, they're not at the races, they're not good enough. A lot of them aren't good enough, and I don't mean that in a negative way. There's some of the young people and they're doing stuff and it's blowing my fucking mind. You know what I mean? But there's also young people doing stuff that are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? So like, and don't get me wrong, there's old fellas doing stuff that blow my mind, and there's the old fellas doing stuff that shit also. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a case of like the old lion versus young lion. It's not about that. It's about good versus shit. Do Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of shit.
We've lost that a little bit, haven't we, with the kind of touchiness of the world. Like, you know, it's quite refreshing actually to hear someone just speak their mind, and for it to be real.
They're afraid to, like, time-wise, you get published in a magazine, you were good, right? You look at any barber magazine, it's fucking nonsense, most of it. The only magazine I ever read now is Tribute. Tribute magazine is the only magazine worth its fucking salt. It's the only place you see real work, real good, proper fucking accomplished fucking work, you know? And it hurts me to say it, do you know what I mean? Because there's no barber magazine that I want to read. There's nothing out there. And the time-wise, I used to always want to open a magazine, right? And I remember still go back and look at Hairdresser's Journal when I was young. You open up, you see the likes of Lee Stafford. Fucking blow your mind. Cool as fuck, work was amazing. His taste was off the fucking charts. And you're looking, every page you turn, the person you're looking at is better than you. And you know they're better than you. And you know you're going to have to work hard as fuck to even be mentioned in the same sentence, not alone be published in the same fucking book as these people. Right? And that's what I think, looking at, you know, images of work or magazines, you should always be looking at stuff that's better than you. And if you don't have the fucking humility to actually admit it's better than you, then you're obviously in the wrong job. I know off the top of my head 20 barbers who are fucking 10 times better than me. Top of my head, and if I had to think about it, it'd be another 50 more. Do you know what I mean?
Totally, yeah.
As long as I'm at it, and I'm fucking good at what I do. I'm fucking excellent at what I do. But there's fucking way better than me out there. Way fucking better than me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a lot of, I guess it's kind of like that 8th place trophy culture, you know, where it's like everything is just acceptable now. You know, Leigh and I will look at things and we'll look at, like, we look at behind the great haircut that pops out at the end of the process, right? Like, that's just something that pops out of the machine after, like, you've done all the years of hard work and you're putting good effort into it. And there's a standard, you know. One thing that I feel like we really brought that to Australia. Like, I believe personally we're responsible for a lot of the good hair that's coming out of Australia in the men's industry, because we brought a level of excellence to it at that time. And the standard of where we were at Area was off the charts.
Yeah, it was off the charts, yeah.
Like, there was stuff going out of that shop and we were like, this is the best hair I've ever seen. Like, no Photoshop, no nothing. I would be looking at all the guys next to me and I was like, I didn't need to look anywhere else, because it's like I have all the inspiration I need. Very hard to see that now. You know, we observe from more of a distance these days, but the standard isn't there.
No.
The taste level isn't there.
Taste level isn't there.
I really like that you touched on. So a couple of lads that taught me, like I was mentioning, they're in the British hairdressing team in the 90s, so it would have been, the nice work was going on then. And when I started, they were out with the team. And I just asked a question one day. I said, so why did you stop? And they said, well, it didn't become about the hair anymore. He said it was about how stupid we could make people look. It got to a point where it was all about the craft. You see the work, they did beautiful classic haircuts and beautiful blow dries, proper blow drying. And then he said that all of a sudden everybody just got good at that. So then it was like, well, what's next and the next and the next? And it became the Peacock show. Like, and he said, I didn't like, it was just like, we'd see a person sit a model in the chair and it was about how stupid can we make them look? You know, and I kind of see a wave of that happening again now.
All you need to do is look at any Barber magazine.
Yeah, that's what reminded me of that. I was like,
it's shape. It's kind of
now. It's like
what they're doing now is not to be interrupting again. They're inflicting shapes on people's heads. That's where it seems to be going.
We say in education, they're forcing them on people's heads.
Like, if you were to step back and like zoom out of the detail and the technical, there is no taste to it, and that's something we picked up on in the live you did with Simon as well. It's like, where's the taste gone?
There is none. You can't teach taste.
It's very tough
to teach. You can bring taste out of someone. You can encourage them.
Oh, you can nurture it out of them.
And
yeah.
I say, you know, I can't give someone my taste. I don't want to give them my taste, because then they'll take my clients, right? And I can't have somebody else's taste, because that's their taste. And I think that is the difference between a true, like, veteran or master of something, that they understand that a taste level is something that can be refined over time. Doesn't make you a better hair cutter, makes your taste level better. You can spot things, you can see things that you wouldn't have seen fucking 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I see things now that I wouldn't have seen 20 years ago, right? But I always had a taste. You know what I mean? And my taste had never really changed. You know what I mean? I always knew what I liked. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, you know, and I always knew what I didn't like. But sometimes I was probably too vocal on it, and people might have took me up wrong that I was saying everyone else is shit. I'm not. I am saying there's a lot of people who are trying to adopt other people's taste because they think that is what's happening, and that's where it's going. And like, and I mentioned with Simon the other night, Karl Lagerfeld, like he said, trend is the last stage before tacky. That's what's happening. Things are becoming very fucking trendy. And if you like, go back 8 years ago, everyone in the fucking side park and the pump, right? That was a nice time to be in the barbering because it was commercial, it was tasteful. Not everybody should have done it, and not everybody should have had the same haircut. But you know what? It was a better place commercially than we are now. Now we have grown men asking for children's haircuts. You know, and I put the question, you don't see women going around in pigtails and Dora the Explorer bobs because women generally have more taste than men. And it kills me to say that. But you have fucking men of 50, 60, some of them, asking for the most ridiculous fucking haircuts. And this is, you know, and barbers giving it to them goes, oh, because customer's always right. Customer's never fucking right.
Yeah. You know. Or the barber's too interested in how it's going to look on their Instagram rather than actually putting the right shoe on the right foot. It's like people are putting square pegs in round holes. That's what's going on. It's like, it's ridiculous. Look at what's going on. It's like we go to all the hair shows now, and I almost physically can't do the trends thing if it doesn't fit on that person. Like we went on stage at the Barber Bash and I did the most basic haircut there, and I said, guys, why do you think I did this haircut? Because number one, it suits. Number two, it's the bread and butter. That's what's going to make you money, not all of the peacock looking stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that is the other side of it. And I think when people understand that when it comes to, like, I don't ever want people to take me up wrong when I say the customer is never right. Customer is right in many ways. That, you know, he's right that he should expect a flawless service. He's right in that he should expect a clean shop and a professional barber, you know, a knowledgeable barber, right? And the old saying is, you don't pay the plumber to bang the pipes, you pay him because he knows where to bang, right? And that's what we are. We are the plumbers who know where to bang. And if the customer doesn't want to listen, then maybe he's not the right customer, right? Which again is fine, right? But remember, that customer is leaving your chair. He might be happy, but if he looks like a cunt and he's going out and everybody sees him looking like a cunt, not everybody wants to look like a cunt, right? So they might look at him and go, where'd you get your haircut? Oh, I got it done in Barber. Fuck, I'm not going in there. Do you understand? But if they listen to us, it's our job to get them back in the chair, right? It's our job to present them in such a way that people go, fucking hell, your hair's class, man. Where'd you get that done? I'll go there. That's our number one job. Not to make some fella who doesn't have a fucking clue, and maybe is, you know, not every fella doesn't have a clue. Most fellas do, right? But it's kind of explaining to them, say, listen, this is what I'll do. It's not about scoffing at someone, you know, and kind of making them feel shit, because that's the last thing we want to do. We got to explain to them, listen, tell you what, let's do this. I'll tell you why we do this, because ABC, it'll look better, it'll grow out better, you know, it'll be easier for you to manage, and you're going to look great, and the women are going to love you, and the men are going to want a fucking haircut like you. That is our number one goal, right? But just because we can doesn't mean we should. Like, I can do any haircut. Doesn't mean I should do a haircut.
I think that's where the wires get crossed as well with the social media world of barbering and the clients. Like I was saying earlier, we're leaving the clients on the side, and it's like somebody else who's done it really well, who's in Manchester as well, is Alan Beek. Like Ruger, right? They're functional haircuts that look great, and like they suit the clients.
And as well as that, you look at the brand Alan has built around his community, right? Like, he's a really fucking personal guy, Alan, right? The clients are loyal as fuck, right? I've had some of his clients in the shop. I know I've only had them once, and I know I'll never get them back again. They're his client, but they've been passing through. The shop might have been quiet. You cut their hair, you're going to go, oh, where'd you get your hair cut? Oh, I'll go to Alan Beek, or I'll go to Reese, or whatever. You know that I know for a fact, I'm not even going to try keep that client. Not going to come back to me. Because, do you know what I mean? He just got his hair because I was quiet, and he passed, and he went in. And that is the thing, is they've carved their own little niche there. Do you know what I mean? And like that, it's real haircuts on real people, and they've done fucking very well at it. And there's so many good places, like, you know, to add up to, like, when I first opened in Manchester, there was nothing in Manchester. There was like 2 barbershops that were anywhere decent. Just fucking 20 good ones now. There's 40 shit ones, but there's 20 good ones. You know what I mean? There's like loads up around the Northern Quarter. You got a couple around the city centre. But there's loads of really, really good barbers in town now. You know, and that's good to see. But if we got rid of the shit ones, we'd all be a hell of a lot busier.
Yeah, totally.
I think back to your point as well, like, you know, think back to like your fashion shows. You know, you got to have some taste there. All this forcing stuff on people's head doesn't work. You know, and I have this chat with people a lot. It's like, I think it's come from social media. I think we see so much hair in isolation. Like, we see the hands cutting the line and we see the clipper doing the fade, but we don't see the zoom out full head to toe context of a haircut like we used to. You know, all the stuff came out of, like you said, from nice fashion magazines, or like all the stuff was done in shops. We see so many little small videos on small screens. People see that technique and go, let's go and force that on someone else, and it becomes so clinical it loses all of its feeling and all of its taste. The word that comes up for me when you say taste is also like feeling. I want hair to make me feel something. I want to look at a haircut and fucking resonate with it, you know. I see all this clinical stuff, great, like you say, respect to it. It takes fucking an eye to get it perfect, but it doesn't make me feel anything. If anything, it reveals something about the person that is stuck in their perfectionism. Yeah. They used it as a different...
I do think as well, there's a lot of people are kind of, they're copying and pasting technique. You know what I mean? They're applying technique without understanding it. That's the thing. When you look at a precision hair cutter, you like Josh Monica, or like JB Mazzella, or like Dove Palmer, or like Ben Brown, right? You got to remember, these people, this is what they fucking do, right? This is what they do, and they do it better than anybody else, right? So unless you take the time, and remember, to get that good, people have no fucking idea what these people have gone through. They have no idea the hours upon hours upon hours upon days upon weeks upon months upon fucking years it's taken for these people to get as good as they are. So when you see some cunt doing a fucking 6-week course and all of a sudden then call himself a precision hair cutter, it's disgusting.
And I look at it and what's the difference between the likes of JB and Ben Brown and all those guys and someone who calls himself a precision haircut?
The difference is about fucking 15 years.
15 years and, your word, taste. When you tastefully place a precision haircut, one of the most beautiful things you'll ever look at, right? That's why Sassoon's so good. You place it properly with taste. That's the difference. When it's forced, it's clinical, and you don't feel anything. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Like,
you look at the likes of Angela Seminara, Guido, fucking Nancy Mascolo, right? Completely the polar opposite. The same belief system, and the same, you know what I mean? But polar opposite in taste level, right? They look like completely different fucking haircuts. They look like completely different hairstyles. And this is what Barbering lacks. Barbering lacks the maverick. And I don't mean the maverick as in like being different for different sake. The maverick was taking their time to actually go off and, okay, I'm going to do it different than every other cunt. But you know what? I'm going to study and I'm going to make it different and I'm going to be able to explain my choices. This is the thing. Nobody can explain their choices. And this is what makes barbering the poor cousin. And this is what will keep barbering the poor fucking cousin. Barbering is that guy who you invite to your 21st but you won't invite him to your wedding. That's what barbering is. Do you know what I mean? Barbering is the fucking guy, you invite him out for the laugh, but you're not letting him meet your fucking family. Do you know what I mean? That's what we have become.
That's what it's become, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's nobody giving it the respect. And the respect, because why? Because it's been cheap and nasty. When something gets popular, right? You know, it becomes, what's the word? Something gets popular, becomes desirable, right? When it becomes desirable, somebody tries to find a way to make it accessible, right? When somebody then makes it a way to be accessible, to make it affordable, right? When it becomes affordable, what's the next stage? To make it cheap. When it becomes cheap, it becomes fast, becomes shit. And that's what's happening, right? Never once will you see the hairdressing industry back a fucking shortcut. They will never back a fucking shortcut. They have too much respect for their craft, right? And this is where we're lacking, right? And I'm not, the other side, I can sit here, we'll talk about this forever, right? I'm fucking fine. My business is fucking thriving. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I'm successful in my own fucking little world. I don't need barbering to fucking sort its shit out. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't fucking bother me. You can all fucking race to the bottom for all I care. I don't give a fuck. But this goes back to how I hate the industry, but I love my job. And I fucking hope that someday, and hopefully soon, that people start fucking respecting it a bit more. Because at the end of the day, if I leave this, and if I can even contribute a small part to the fucking little match that's going to fucking set this back on a good fitting again. Do you know what I mean? Like it was, like you go back to the fucking 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, there was men fucking raised families being barbers in other shops. Do you know, not everyone has to be the boss, right? Not everyone has to have their own shop. And don't get me wrong, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, but do it right, okay? And I wish that we can sometimes look at it and say, do you know what? Let's fucking give it a good stab at being taken seriously again. Not serious in a way that, you know, we're all going to fucking become gurus, right? Then let's just let's just step back a bit. Let's put the customer front and centre. Not give a fuck about what your competition thinks of you. Not care about what your peers think of you. Let's just treat it as a fucking job. Do it right, do it well, do it nice. Do it proper. Do it with fucking pride. Do it with respect, right? And if we did that, but we'd all make more money. I'd make more money as a shop owner. I'd be able to pay my fucking team way more. You know what I mean? You'd have lads like you would only fucking be coaching people who really want to make a difference. And we'd all, you know, a rising tide would raise all ships.
Absolutely.
Right? And at the moment, it's a race to the fucking bottom. And the thing is, they can do it all they want. And they said, look, I'm fine. Doesn't bother me what happens. Do you know what I mean? I'll have a fucking business and, you know, I'll be fine. And yeah, I'll have ups and downs and I'll have a great team, I'll have medium teams, I'll have shit teams. But it'll be a cycle, and you've been around long enough as well. You know, the cycle will always be a cycle. You know what I mean? So like, whatever happens, I'm going to have good times, shit times, in between times. And that is the joys of being a shop owner.
And it would be so nice to see it get to that place. Like, that's why we kind of do what we do as well. It's like, we're going to be fine regardless. It's like we're trying to help people with this information so that they can do better with their lives. And like, it's such a cross, like, we haven't been using this word lately, but it's like almost like a paradox, because like you were saying at the start, let's not deep it too much, but like, let's deep it enough to make it respectful. And I think we can take a lot of inspiration as an entire industry from other industries.
Yeah.
It's like, we just need to do shit like other businesses do it.
Yeah.
Now, when did we just start running barbering like it's just a penniless fucking job? Because
it's become a commodity, and
it has become a commodity. It's way too low barrier to entry.
Yeah. Like, think of
the respect thing has kind of gone out the window. It's like, you don't even have to be good anymore to charge big prices. And I said this in Amsterdam, we did Barber Society, and I was like, how is it, like, and this is something that I still struggled with understanding, how is it that some of the best barbers in the world get paid the same as some of the shittest barbers in the world? Like, and you know, we have the likes of Alan's, the likes of Josh, and you have the likes of just random kids all over the world cutting hair in their parents' garage, and they're charging 10 times the price. It's like, to me, that doesn't logically make sense.
The thing is, I'm okay with the bigger prices. You know, I wish everyone was charging the big prices, but like, I think there is a ceiling. You know what I mean? But if somebody wants to charge 150 quid, let them charge it. I have a problem with people charging a tenner, because there's a lot of people like we charge up north. We charge £34, right? £34 is not a lot of money, right? The shittest haircut in this fucking town will cost you 20 quid, right? The shittest one in a dirty shop with some cunt who hasn't a clue what he's doing. He fucking blasts the hair off, right? It says 20 quid on 34 quid, right? So there's £14 in the difference, right? So price versus value, right? Is there value in my £14 extra? I believe there is a lot of value, right? But trying to get a client to see that value, he won't see it in the haircut, because a lot of clients don't see in the haircut what we see in the haircut. They'll see it in everything else, though. They'll see it in the service, the fucking cleanliness, the attitude of the staff and all that. But the problem is, you know, when that's not being taught in these fucking 12-week courses, then it's very, very hard to find the value, right? So where is the difference? Where's the value? If I employ a fellow after doing a 12-week course, right, And he does a haircut for 34 quid after 12 weeks. Which, by the way, would never fucking happen, right? But let's just say it did. After 12 weeks, he goes into my shop and he's charged 24 quid. But there's been a guy who's cutting hair for 20 quid, but he's been doing it for 15 years. So he can remove hair to a decent standard. I'm not going to say it's a great haircut, but he's removed the hair to a decent standard, right? That is a better haircut than my 12-week guy has done for 34 quid. I guarantee it is, right? So this is what's happening is people are going, they're charging £34. And that's what I get the same haircut down the road for 15 quid. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because why? He's only spent 12 weeks learning how to remove hair. He has not become a barber in 12 weeks, and nor has he learned the soft skills to communicate a fucking professional, efficient service in 12 weeks. That's what's been let down. That's where we're falling off. And, you know, remember, it's not Barbering's fault someone's in a rush. Not Barbering's fault somebody came to the fucking game late. Not Barbering's fault that you drive a fucking car that you have to pay for. Not Barbering's fault that you got a choice to pay for. That's not my fucking concern. You know, oh, but I've always been into barbering. If you always wanted to be a barber, you'd be a barber by now. So let's get that one out of the way. Right, so to go back to what's the difference? The difference is fucking time. Do you know what I mean? And it's an attitude of, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. Try not to be the best at it, but do it right.
Yeah, do it to the best of our ability. And it's like I said, I said this to a couple of people, even privately, that were doing the show, like a couple of the men's wire boys and stuff, and I was like, how fucking easy is this, really? Like looking at the state of the industry now, it's like, it's not very hard to stand out. You only have to do a little bit more, and you're fucking top. The cream will rise. Like, it's 10% or less even now that you have to be a little bit better than everyone else.
And I think, you know what, you know, when you look at the likes, like you say, you know, and it's, I suppose every podcast you do, and every person you talk to, you know, men's buyer pop up. They will always pop up because they are industry leaders now. Do you know what I mean? They are industry leaders, whether you don't have to like it, you know what I mean? But you have to understand something, that there's very few people who have taken it as seriously as them. And they've done it without the fucking mental health card. They've done it without the fucking feeding the homeless card. They've done it without the fucking whatever fucking tag you put on. They've done it purely out of fucking hair, right? Do I like the taste level? No. I say it out loud and I say, you know, I don't like their taste level. But that doesn't matter what I like. Do I like their skin level? I fucking do, yeah. Do I like how serious they are? Yeah. Do I like how fucking determined and fucking tunnel vision Josh O'Monic is? I fucking do. Do I like how fucking serious he is about building Menspire into the biggest fucking men's global brand? Yes, I do. But do I like the taste level? I don't. But it's fine, I don't have to like it. I'm sure he doesn't like mine.
Yeah, there's a lot to be admired.
But I guarantee you speak my name to Josh, he'd say the same thing. Do I like his taste level? No, I don't. But do I like what he's done? Yes, I do. It's a mutual respect for what we have. You know, do I like what Alan does? Don't like everything he does. Do I like some things to do? Yeah. Do I like him as a person? Yeah. Do I think he's a great fucking businessman? Yes. Do you know what I mean? So it's about respecting each other's choice to the avenue we wanted to go with our business. I wanted to have traditional, efficient barbershops. That's what I've achieved. I didn't want to fucking be the best fucking barber or the best barbershop. I wanted to be the best barbershop. I don't want to be the best fucking barber. I don't want to be, because I'm not, and I never will be. But standing behind the chair, like, you know, do I think I'm the best person to run a barbershop? I said, yeah. I don't think there's many can do it better than me, as in run a barbershop the way a barbershop I believe should be run. Let's get that one clear. The way I believe it should be run. I'm not telling anyone what to fucking do. Freaks. Right? Before you get too triggered, lads, this is what I want to do for my business. But, do you understand? That's what I believe. And I believe the way I do it is the best way to do it. That's what makes my business a success.
Right, that's beautiful, because we've lost a bit of that in the world. It's like there has to be these days there has to be almost a universal understanding of how something should be, rather than this is how I want it to be for me.
How I believe it should be is the way it should be. Yeah, and you know, I think we have to you have to mention Scorum, right? You have to mention Rob and Lean when it comes to, I think for me, when it comes to barbering, when it comes to men's hair, you're never going to see another Josh or Monica. Never. Same way as you will never see another Vidal Sassoon. You just won't. You never see another Rob Reifeld from Scorum. You just won't see it. Do you know what I mean? They were trailblazers, and I think there's going to be loads of pretenders, and pretender is probably the wrong word. You're going to have loads of people that will aspire to be them. But the one thing you can copy Josh Monica's taste level, you can copy his aesthetic, you cannot copy his fucking passion. Right? Same way with Rob. You can fucking copy Scorum, you can copy his hairstyles, you cannot copy what's in that brain. That brain is probably one of the most creative brains I've ever seen when it comes to fucking men's hair. You know, and I think those two changed, I think, everything when it comes to men's hair. Do you know what I mean?
One of the interesting, the pieces of the puzzle that was inserted in the last kind of 10, 20 years, social media, or let's call it free marketing, that leveled the playing field, I think, and that's why we're seeing this disparity in quality and taste and all this kind of stuff, because now, like never before, everybody can market for free. Never used to be like that, you know, and that's why I think, like, that's why I love what you said, is like it will eventually level itself out, because I talk about this in marketing, right? It's easy to pull the wool over wool over people's eyes for a while until the cream rises to the top again. So this whole new free marketing thing, you can market every single day of your life as many times as you want for £0.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't always the way. To get in a magazine or to get on the telly or to get on the radio will cost you money and big bucks, and do it properly. Yeah. But now it's free. So now it's leveled the playing field again. And I think it will take a minute, it'll take a few more years for it to level itself back out again. But I agree with you, and that's why we always encourage our guys to never stop trying to get good at hair. Never stop doing that, because the cream will again rise to the top. Of
course it will.
And it will circulate
it's
again.
a cycle.
And when you apply the marketing again to the great ones, that will send you through to the roof. Now, like the guys you were talking about, they had the magic of this modern world. They had great skill set, great minds, great personalities, great branding and great marketing. And without the great branding and marketing, would they have been as well known? Who knows?
Do you know what? I think at their level, yeah. I think so, because if you get, all you got to do is you got to transfer it to. I always transfer everything over to the women's market, right? The busiest, most expensive salons in London, Paris, Berlin, they're not big on social media, right? There's like, I know salons in London, and they take in 100, 120, 130 grand a week. Seriously. Not on Instagram. They're on Instagram, but they don't have a big presence.
Yeah, at the word of mouth travels.
Word of mouth and fucking service. Efficiency, right?
Doing it well, just doing it good.
Well. Yeah, and like, I know a place, like, there's one place, and I know it well. I know it because my fucking wife goes there. And I tell you something, what they fucking charge, right? But the value is there. Like, when I say the value is there, right? But like, the money they're making is fucking phenomenal.
Well, I brought it up in I don't know if it was a coaching call or a class. I was doing a bit of research on men's hair prices I think it was in London. And there's a fellow we know. Do you ever heard of Larry King?
I know Larry, yeah.
So we're friends with Larry as well. And I was looking at the men's hair prices, right? And I just picked a random guy in his shop. Didn't even know him. Got no social media. £98 for a men's haircut.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
His brother actually went to... His brother used to come to my shop in Spitalfield when he couldn't cut his brother's hair, and then he went up to Scotland. I had to send to a friend of mine in Scotland because he couldn't get a decent haircut up there. So I sent to a mate of mine. Well, yeah,
but I was doing the research and I said, so why can he charge £98? Like, no one's heard of him, no social media, but in their little environment, they're creating the value.
But I'm going to ask the question: which means no one's heard of him.
Barbers,
haven't heard of him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Barbers, exactly.
I'm sure no fucker has heard of the guy who built my extension in my house. I'm sure nobody has heard of the plumber who's can fix my sink. But do you know what I mean? Would I get a plumber who was massive and so, hey guys, I'm going to fix this fucking washer today and I don't want that cunt in my house.
But the point I was getting at there was, like, when you're good, you're great at what you do, you provide a great local direct service, you'll be fine.
But local,
and a lot of people think it's the social media thing, and I need to know about being known by loads of people. Fuck me, 99% of those people aren't going to pay your bills.
Mm-hmm. But the camera goes off. I'm going to show you a fella on Instagram, right? And he has 3,500 followers, ladies hairdresser, right? £1,000 he charges for a haircut. £1,000.
Brilliant.
£1,000, man or woman.
Yeah, doesn't matter. That's
Doesn't
just
matter.
what it is.
That's what he charges. And you won't get an appointment with him. Tell you that free. You will not get an appointment with this guy.
Brilliant.
So, it's then about his social media.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where, again, another kind of disparity is within the way that the men's world has kind of gone, is that what metrics are we judging as like the metrics of success, right? Like we say this to our clients all the time. It's like, they'll do, I did this post and it's got like thousands of views. It's like, yeah, cool, but who booked in? Like, did it get you clients? Did it make you money? Like, that's the thing to look at.
What's your bank account saying, right?
Do people, this is the other side of it. Do people want clients from it? Do people, I don't think people want to be busy anymore.
True.
I don't think people want to be busy.
No, so that's the other side of things. It's like, are they ready for when the virality makes them so busy that they can't keep up with it? It's like, do they actually want what it's going to give them? It's a really interesting point. Yeah.
That's the question. Like, I remember there's a time, like, now listen, I don't think I even want to do 20 haircuts a day anymore. But there was a time when I first opened over here, part of the interview process was, can you do 20 haircuts in a day? And if you couldn't, you probably didn't get the job. Now, do I want to do 20 haircuts a day? Not anymore. But I still want to do 15. But can you do 15 5 days a week?
That's a big ask for most people.
Big ask for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 15 is a big number these days. Because between consultation, shampoo, haircut, finish, refine, style out, cash out. You know what I mean? It is. It's a big old number. Like, these is time where, like, before. Remember, customers' expectations has risen, and which is a great thing. A lot of customers, like, when I say customers' expectations, not every customer, but the customers we've had, they're used to, and this is kind of, it's a double-edged sword here, right? Because when I opened up here, it was pretty new. It was service-driven, so people were used to the service, right? And my original team was really strong, obviously, because I was a new guy and I was able to be a little bit more picky. You know what I mean? So we had a strong team, and then we built an even stronger team. So all of a sudden, we had these customers, we had the team, and the team were there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? So the customers were used to fucking grade A, right? And then obviously, one good guy leaves, and another good guy goes with him, and another good guy goes with him. And now I've lost 3 good guys, right? So now, remember, these guys have been used to really, really good service, really good haircut, really good attitude, really good fucking atmosphere, right? And all of a sudden, we get a fella who's not as good, who's not as efficient, who's not as fucking impersonable. And now the customer notices the difference. Oh, fucking this shit. It's not shit, it's just not as good as you're used to. So now what it was my job to step up and make sure the new guy is brought up to speed. And this is what I'm saying to you. I don't have time to be the best in the room anymore. Do you know what I mean? That's why I don't want this. Because if I have to be the best in the room all the fucking time, left and right of me is going to, I'm not doing my job to fucking drag them forward. And I know they're going to leave at some stage. Do you know what I mean? But like, while they're there, I have to make sure that I get the most out of them. Do you know what I mean? Because for my demanding clients, and we do have demanding clients. Demanding is the wrong word, but we have fussy, and I always say I like fussy. Fussy is good, but you got to be able to tell the difference between fussy and an arsehole, right? Like, fussy is hard to win around. Once you win around, they tend to be loyal to you. An arsehole is an arsehole. You're never going to win him, so you don't want him.
Yeah. A fussy is just like a good standard, right?
Of course,
like,
it is. Yeah,
people are holding a higher standard for
the value
for everybody, like for themselves, for you, for like it's almost like.
And I think that's what barbers have to realise that. Like, so when you finish work on a Saturday evening, right, and you're going out for a meal, what's the one thing you want? Good service, and you want a good product. So what's different, right? What is different than a customer expecting the same from you? Right? You tell me why a fella's an arsehole if he's fussy with you, when you're going to be the same fella who's going to be fussy with another fella on Saturday night when you're out having a meal or having a drink, or, you know what I mean? So service is service. It doesn't matter whether it's hair, food, bar, whatever. Service is service. And I think we need to treat, and I think this is where people like you guys could come in, right? Because you're coaches, right? When you park the hair for a minute. Just fucking park the fucking hair. We'll pick that up in a while, right? Let's kind of, I think, teach service as part of it. You know, it's not about the fucking skin fade. It's not about the fucking layer. It's not about the graduation. It is, but it's not. Because, remember, someone goes to a professional barbershop and a professional hair salon, the bare fucking minimum they should expect is a great haircut. That's it, you know. So that's not something to shout about. Hey, look at me, I can cut hair. You know, I fucking hope so, you cunt. That's your job. I hope you can cut hair well. That's what you're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? You don't, what you want, a fucking medal for doing your job?
It's the Roy Keane approach, isn't it?
But it is.
It's your fucking job.
Just do the fucking thing. Do your, okay, again, my passion gets me out. It gets me in trouble. Right? But listen, the bare fucking minimum you should be able to do is a great haircut. That's the bare fucking minimum. Everything else is the cream that makes you busy, makes you expensive, makes you popular. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. If everybody could get a great haircut, number one, okay, that's half the problem fixed. Now, what happens now? Now everyone will have to raise their fucking standard. This is where the universal standard has to come in. That right, bare minimum, you better be fucking excellent to cutting hair. That's it, lads. Bare minimum. Okay, everyone goes off it as the bare minimum becomes a great hair cutter. Now the service aspect kicks in, and the service is the thing you see that you know it doesn't take skill. It takes awareness, all right? And awareness can be learned. Skill is something that can be refined all the time, but you have to learn how to be aware. You have to put yourself in situations where you demand more, as in like go in, sit and have a cup of coffee in a 5-star hotel. Just a cup of coffee. It won't cost you a fortune. Just sit there. Look at the difference, how they serve you, as opposed to how they serve you in fucking Starbucks. They're probably getting paid the same amount of money, right? But what's a nicer environment to work in? Do you want to work in fucking Starbucks or do you want to work in the Ritz? Yeah, there'll be more expected of you, but you know what? You're going to deal with nicer people. You're going to deal with more fucking, I suppose the word more direct, not direct is the wrong word. You're going to deal with a person who knows what they want, as opposed to somebody expecting fucking everything for nothing. Do you know what I mean? I think it would allow people to put a value on service. Do you know what I mean? And I think people overlook that. People overlook the value of service, and I think it's immeasurable. And if we all raise the game, that's why why'd you pay fucking 1,500 quid for a 5-star hotel? The bed is the same as a fucking £250 hotel. You pay it for how you're treated. You pay for the service. You pay for the amenities.
It's interesting. I love the price point talk as well. What we realised in Australia, we were one of the first ones to get over the $100 mark, which is like 50 English. And it started to attract a different type of client. And much to our surprise, it wasn't a fussier client. It was an easier client. Because the people that can afford those prices, they think differently. The people who have got their shit together in life and can afford those prices aren't fussy little dickheads. They are people, they're serious about life people. And what we realised is what we were actually doing, we were solving a slightly different problem for them. They wanted a high quality product in the time that they wanted it done.
By a professional who knows this.
Exactly. I mean? By a professional with service, and they'll pay for it. They'll pay any money to get it. They'll be like, can you do it like the way we kind of agree to, and I'm going to get it the first time in an environment that I enjoy with the service level. So yes or no, cool. How much is it? That's all they want to know. How much is it? Cool. Yeah, this, great.
That's the difference, isn't it? So they're buying your knowledge.
Exactly.
That's it. They're not telling you. This is what I said, the difference between direction and instruction, right? A good barber, a good hairstylist, a good fucking chef is happy to take direction. That's what we are. That's all I ask is a bit of direction. Will I take instruction? I will. My fuck. Will I have some fucker telling me how to cut there? No. Tell me how you'd like it cut, and I'll tell you whether it's doable, as in is it achievable with your texture, shape, all that. But like direction is what we crave direction.
But I teach this in my classes, and it's something that is never taught in school. Is I think part of a great service and great professional skill is to lead that conversation before they even take their coat off. Start in your head. I don't even let them tell me what to do now. because I control the frame. It's like a great salesman. It's like a great chef. They're not saying, oh, so what spices do you want in your food? And this a good Michelin star chef will talk to you about the food, but they'll do the work. They'll lead the conversation, and a great salesperson do the same thing. And I think that takes a good person to a great service person, a professional service person. We need to lead the frame a bit more.
But again, this is where soft skills come into it.
Exactly.
They're not teaching soft skills.
No.
Like, soft skills take a long time to come out, don't they?
Yeah. And through experience too, like, and meeting a lot of people, dealing with a lot of people. I think from me, I think about my family, right? Like my two grandparents, my granddads, they were very good with soft skills. Both of them could talk, like, and I learned a lot from them, you know, in terms of like how they dealt with people. One of my granddads was a car salesman, so like he owned a garage, and I lived with him for 6 months in his older days, and he would take me out for dinner with all these people, and he'd be like, he'd give me the rundown of what they're about before we went out, like what they do, who they are, what their profession is, a little bit of dynamic about like the situation. And then like throughout the dinner, he would look at me a few times and he'd give me like a little wink, and he'd say something, and like it was all of those little cues that it's like, okay, that's soft skills. He's learned this over the course of his life. It's like how to be just a human to human and connect with somebody on a deeper level.
I think manners as well. Manners
is missing. Manners is missing. Yeah, it is.
It is.
People are so, like, I can't get over it. Like, people just fucking, since I've been back here, and people are almost shocked, like, if you shake their hand or if you, like,
because in Australia,
greet them properly, you know?
Yeah,
like,
people are quite personable. We'll say hello to the person on the street. G'day, how's it going? You walk into a coffee shop, how you doing? And like, we'll do it over here, and they're like stunned. They're like,
it's not even stunned. I think it's an attitude that's crept into people. I don't know, man. I think maybe it's the Irish in me. Do you know what I mean? Like, straight, I've never met you before in my life. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, within 5 minutes, you were telling me where your uncle worked, and I was saying my brother worked there, and they probably know each other. And and straight away, we just talk to each other. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the thing that's missing. I think that people just don't. Not that they don't want to talk. You know, again, that give people the option of a fucking silent haircut. Oh, fuck off.
Well, I think we were one of the last generations to kind of get out of it without the social, like, we were around before social media. We came through it. We're still young enough to understand the whole thing inside out, compared to say my grandparents or anything like that. But what was before social media, we had to talk, we had to be mannerly. That was our way of kind of communicating. Whereas now it's kind of an expectation that I have my life online. I don't need to be nice in real life. You know?
I was really fortunate in my apprenticeship. So Plymouth is a port, right? A big naval port, and we'd get all the old admirals coming in and all these types of guys, and I had to face them straight on. I'm a 15, 16-year-old kid at the desk, and they were like, go on, Leigh, you go deal with them. And there's just a level you have to come to. They're not going to deal with some shitty little 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So I had to bring the level of my conversation up. I had to meet the expectation and my manners and how I treated them, and put together some sort of kind of conversation that made sense, you know. And I think, it's less lacking in our time. It really is.
Sound like fucking three grumpy old fuckers around me.
But something I was going to bring up earlier, when you were saying, I don't want to be talking about the negativity all the time and all that, but it's from a place of care, though. Underpinning all of this is because you actually care, and that's why we do it too.
And you want to see it do. You want to see it do well.
Of course I do.
You know, we're not sitting here complaining because we're just saying everyone's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And that's just my fucking opinion. It's like, no, I'm bringing these things up, and I might not be able to articulate it in the most loving way, but it's because we care, and we know that it doesn't have to be as fucking painful as you make it.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to be as shitty as it is. Do you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
We could listen. We don't all have to be friends in Barber. This hands across the world bollocks that they fucking painted, and we all, you know what I mean? That's all fucking nonsense, right? At the end of the day, personality is a personality. Some people you like, some people you don't. That's fucking human nature, right?
We can all coexist.
You don't have to like everybody. Same way as I know for a fucking fact, not everyone likes me, but I sleep well, I'm fine. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter what they think. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people out there who think I'm all right. You know what I mean? Most importantly, my wife and my children, right? But other than that, some of my peers think I'm class. Some of my peers think I'm a cunt. That's fine. Absolutely fine. No problem. But the fellas who think I'm a cunt have never met me. That's the other side of it. I have to have, maybe I fucking met their expectations. You know what I mean? But I've never went out to be liked by anyone in this industry. You know what I mean? As a young fella, yeah, of course you have. You go out, you want to be everyone's fucking friend. But as you get older, and obviously things happen in your life, you realise that people's opinion of you doesn't matter, right? And that's one thing that's good. But I think if we all learn to coexist, you know what I mean? And if everyone came at it from an even keel, you fairly soon separate the fucking the weak from the strong. You know what I mean? I think that's the other side of it, is that there's too much fog. There's too much fog in the industry, I think.
Just I really appreciate like what you're about in terms of like speaking your mind and being authentic, and it doesn't matter if it upsets someone, it doesn't matter if it upsets us, you know what I mean? Like, of course, we're just open-minded to it all. It's kind of like, well, everything can coexist. It's okay that Johnny thinks a certain way, it's okay that we think a certain way. We agree with everything that you said.
But that's mature, that's being an adult.
It is though, isn't it? It's just being like, can you just look at something objectively and just take what everyone else is going to think about it out of it for a second, and just think about like, let's just get back to fucking basic principles here of being a human being.
Listen, I said this, you do what makes you happy, I'll do what makes me happy, you do what makes you happy, he'll do what he wants, she'll do what she wants, they'll do what they want, and everyone just gets on with it, right? If you don't like what I fucking have to say, don't fucking listen, right? And if I don't like what you have to say, I won't listen to you. I'm not going to let it upset me. I hope I don't upset you. If I do, I don't give a fuck. It's fine. Because why should I care if I upset someone? Why should I? Because they've chosen to be upset. Ricky Gervais said it the best, right? It's one of the best things I've ever heard in my life, right? People have to stop saying that's offensive. It's not offensive. You
took offence to it.
You took offence to it. My son is the fucking king of it. My son is the most woke fucking little guy. He's 12 years old, and he has the biggest moral compass I've ever come across. I don't know where he got it from, right? My young fella, he is so fucking woke. In a good way, I think he's class. He's just such a lovely, lovely human being, right? But everything, Dad, you can't say that. Dad, you can't say that. Dad, you shouldn't say that. That's offensive, Dad. You shouldn't say that. And it's always coming from school. But I think it's great that he's the way he is. That's the other side of it. Like, I don't know where he got it from. I don't know where he got it from. I really don't, right? But I think it's great he's like that, because he is so focused on doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? I've never come across it in my life in a boy, ever. He is so he's such a kind, I've never seen anyone as kind as him. Do you know what I mean? His heart must be that size. Mustn't be room for anything else in his body, because his heart is so big. And I think that's great, and I hope the fucking world stays nice for him. Do you know what I mean? And for as long as he's next to me, it will. But to be that way, you are setting yourself up for a massive fucking downfall. Do you know what I mean? So it's my job to kind of pick a little bit of wage, you know, to kind of make the world a little bit more clear to him that not everybody is as kind as you want them to be, and that's okay. Not everyone is going to be nice to you. That's okay too. Stay away from the people who aren't kind to you, and stay around the people who are kind to you, and you be kind back to them. And the fellas who aren't kind to you, don't be fucking kind to them either. But leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Don't put energy to it.
Don't put energy to it. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't go after them.
Yeah, just leave it happen.
Leave it after. If someone's being mean, just fucking turn the back and just let them off.
And I think, you know, underpinning a lot of what we spoke about today is intent, right? Like, we put up, I would say, borderline controversial things as well on our Instagrams, but the intent underpinning it is like, guys, this can be better. You know, you can live a better life. You can live a better way. Like, there's easier ways to go about what we're doing here, and we've found a way to make it very complicated for no fucking reason.
But again, that's modern life, I think, and we've all been all guilty of it. We're all guilty of overcomplicating stuff.
Oh, absolutely. But I think bringing it back to that simplicity is key. Like, we love to just bring everything back to a state of like, okay, we need to actually remove the layers here. Where are we adding more things to the fire? Like, it doesn't need to continue burning the way it's burning. So, and
that's, you know, when you're trying to avoid drama inside in a shop situation, right? I always want to peel it back to that. So, right, lads, this is the day. Come in. open the shop, greet the customer, cut his hair, take his money, wish him a good day. Do that 15 times, close the door. That's all we have to do. It's not that fucking hard. Why? Where's the drama? Where's the drama? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why do we need anything else? That's enough to be worried about. Yeah, there's enough going on.
And that's it. But listen, we're not going to fix it today. We're not going to fix it any day. I think it's one of these things that has to naturally reset over time. And I think people are getting sick of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see it like, you know, we're finding it very difficult to get good apprentices. We're starting to get good apprentices now again. Do you know what I mean? But after COVID, it was horrendous. We couldn't get them. We're literally getting fellas in there, and they weren't turning up. They were late. They were fucking madness, mad stuff. So now it's come back around, and you know, everyone is talking about, you know, oh, the industry has changed. The industry has, you know, the industry shouldn't have to change. Oh, people have changed. Yeah, people have changed, but were they right to change? Are people, like, what gives people the right to expect more for less? Where does that right come from? You know what I mean? You know, the people giving out about how apprenticeships are run are the ones selling the short ones. Remember that. You know, you see people all the time giving out, you know, apprenticeships aren't what they are, you know, they're not like what they should be. You know, I spent my apprenticeship cleaning toilets. No, you didn't. You clean the toilet once a day. And so does me, so does whoever's in the fucking bathroom. You clean the bathroom, you know, have a sign in the bathroom, please leave the bathroom as you'd like to find it. That's it, you know. That is a universal fucking statement to clients, staff, apprentices, fucking me. Do you know what I mean? That is a universal fucking statement, right? So this idea of, you know, apprentices are fucking scrubbers, they're not. But their duties are part of their apprenticeship. Don't forget that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, how do you expect to own the shop if you can't scrub the toilet, you know? Like, there's so many more dirty jobs than that as a shop owner. Like, it's not.
And that's it. And, you know, but as I said, the people who are saying this outwardly, like, are the ones selling the apprenticeship. Don't fool yourself to think that they care about the fucking 16-year-old. They care about the 16-year-old's fucking money. Do you know what I mean? Remember, we pay our apprentices, right? And we also pay our fucking educators to teach our apprentices, right? So it costs us twice. And then when they start going on the shop floor, they start fucking haircuts up. So we lose customers. We have to comp customers. We have to give them free product. You know what I mean? So in actual fact, the cost of training an apprentice far outweighs the money you make off them in the first 2 years. Right? The profit you make from an apprentice, you know. So and
time cost, because it's not. There's no guarantee in it either.
There isn't, but it's part of it, and it's a part. I don't know how we came back around to this, but it's a part that I'm happy to do. But don't fucking tell me that I'm treating someone in for it. Yeah, I might lose a rag and call him a cunt from time to time. So what? It's character building. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what's wrong with calling someone a cunt? Like, once in a while, someone deserves to be called a cunt.
Yeah, well, look, you're Irish and you live in Australia, so it's fine. Do you know what I mean? But, like, some people don't like that word. I personally think it's the best word that was ever invented. I do. I really do. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a great word because it's kind of a stress reliever in some ways. Do you know what I mean? But it's also it's not as deep as people make it out to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's in Ireland. Look, you know, in Ireland, especially Cork and Limerick are the same place, really, except we got better herders. You know, it's a word of every day. My fucking 70-year-old auntie says it. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those words. It's not as bad as people think it is.
It's just a word, right? Like, it's like the Ricky Gervais thing again. You know, it's like, when did we all of a sudden become scared of words? Like, it's just a word. Yeah. What we make it mean.
There was a fella the guy that we listened to as well, he said, if I said it to you in a different language, would you even know what I'm saying? Nope. It's just a word, it's just noise. It's just fucking hot air coming out. Like, you know, how could you cunt in a different language? You wouldn't even know what I'm saying. So,
but if someone called me a cunt, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Like, you're probably right, actually.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Because, you know, it's like the whole thing of, like, words will only hurt to the degree that we already believe them anyway. If I think I'm a cunt and someone calls me a cunt and I get upset about it, then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I am. Yeah. A bit like that, isn't it? But yeah, what a conversation.
What a great chat.
It was a bit fucking long, wasn't it? Hope we're good editor, man.
Well, I think it was great. Lots of value in there. I think, you know, underpinning it all, I feel like, you know, what you want to see is just people doing what we do better. A bit more respect on the name.
I think
Barber.
respect on the name Barbering, you know, and that, listen, I know people are going to listen to this and they're going to be triggered by it, and that's down to them, right? At the end of the fucking day, you know, I've always believed I've come at this with the good heart, right? I've always run my business the way I wanted to run it, and I have never apologised for it. But I do it with, you know, barbering and the good of barbering at the forefront of it. As I said to you, no one has to listen to me. Not going to make a difference. Won't make a difference. Like, I do all right. Do you know what I mean? I do all right. I have a good, strong business there that's going to last. It's going to survive because why? The customers like it. So what the industry thinks of it makes no fucking bones to me. Makes no bones to me. So every barber in this fucking city, country, fucking continent can think I'm an arsehole. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Because number one, I know I'm not. Number two, I know I'm fucking liked and loved by the people who I like and love, right? Anybody who actually knows me for what I am knows I've got the good of other people, you know, who have been around me, you know, at the forefront of what I do. And I'm not an arsehole. I'm very, very fair. I've always been strict. I'm a hard taskmaster. You know, my father was a hard taskmaster, so I'm a hard taskmaster. It's the way it is, you know. But I've never expected anybody to do anything I haven't done or will do myself. And to this day, I still do the dirty jobs. Don't do them all the time, but I do them if they have to be done. I'd never walk past them, you know. And that's why I get so upset when people walk past them. When people walk past the dirty job and leave it for me, that's when I get pissed off. But if I come across it first, I won't walk past it and leave it for them.
That's why you have the shop, and that's why they might not have the shop. You know, it's like you can't expect to, like I was saying about the toilet. If you're not going to clean the toilet, how do you expect to run the mansion? You know.
Yeah.
You know, people want the mansion without having to do the groundwork to like build up to it. It's.
But I've had lads work for me and they've left under bad circumstances, and they've come to me a year later. Fucking hell, you were right about that. I said, I know I was right about that. I've also had fellas leave in the right way and come back to me. You know what I mean? I've had a guy back 2 or 3 times. You know, just, you know, but each time he's come back, he's done a good fucking 6 to 12 months with me. He's never been a cunt. But he just, you know, he changes, you know, he changed his mind a lot, and that's fine. But when he's with me, he gives it his all. So you can't fault a fella for that.
No.
Do you know?
And we see that a lot. You know, a lot of the time people will go out by themselves, think that it's going to be better, the grass is going to be greener. It only causes more problems a lot of the time, you know, because it isn't always greener.
Of course it's not.
It's green where you water it. It's green.
And listen, I've had lads leave and they've done exceptionally well. They've fucking done exceptionally well. And they're still doing exceptionally well. And I wish them the best.
And that comes down to traits as well, like their traits.
Oh yeah, they were always going to do well. Like my latest,
you can tell, can't you? You can tell when you meet someone. You can just tell that person's going to do something.
My latest guy who left now, Harry, right? I had him since he was 14, right? He was a Saturday boy. Firstly, he was a customer with his dad. Then we gave him a job as a Saturday boy. Then he was a Saturday boy for 2 years. Then I brought him into the academy, and he did the academy with me. Then he did 6 months as a junior barber. Then he went on the floor as a barber. It was fucking great. Then COVID hit, came back, did a year after COVID. Then he went to Spain, came back, did Christmas with me. This Christmas gone. And then he was talking about going back to Spain. And I said, right, you go back to Spain. But he was looking to open his own shop. I didn't know that till the end. And then I said, then I heard he wasn't going back to Spain. He said, he come back to me. He goes, oh, no, boss, I'm going out on my own. I said, okay, fair enough. Brilliant, fair play to you. He's only 24. Great kid. He opened out in Ramsbottom. And he's flying. You know, but 2 days before his shop opens, he rings me. Oh, fuck, I've no chairs. The chairs never came. I have a fucking ton of chairs. Can I loan some chairs? Of course I can. I'll get them. So, fucking 3 brand new Belmont Dainties. How much you want from him? Want any money from him? Say, bring him back. In the same condition you got him, whenever you can. Do you know what I mean? He was a good kid, and he still is a good kid. He's a great lad. You know what I mean? So, like, somebody does right by you, you're always going to do right by them. And these are the things that people don't see. Or Johnny's an arsehole. Yeah, he's a fucking arsehole. He's also sound. He's only an arsehole, guess what? He's an arsehole to arseholes.
Well, you see what people will see what they want to see.
What they want to see.
And they'll hear what they want to hear. Like, yeah, you'll find what you want to find anywhere in the world, right?
Well, I am an arsehole to arseholes. Fucking 100%. That's why I'm an arsehole to them, because they're fucking arseholes. you know. But I'm also very, very nice to nice people. Do you know what I mean?
That's the way it should be, right? Like, I don't know, that's the way I like to see the world too. I'm nice to people who are nice to me. I do well by who I can do well by. And
why?
And I swerve and avoid the others.
You don't have to be nice to everyone.
No.
You know what I mean? You don't. You just don't. You treat people how you want to be treated and treat them how they treat you. That's it.
Fantastic.
And on that note,
that's been great.
Thank you very much for guys. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Jesus,
For lots of value there for everyone.
Gems.